Hello, this is Mayor Chris Bollwage, and welcome to another edition of Our City. So stay connected with all of us and following our social media accounts, or call the Public Information Office at 908-820-4124. And for this week's show, I'm pleased to be joined by Miss Cyndy Walsh Rintzler, who is the Vice President of Programs and Services at Inroads to Opportunities. Cyndy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell me about yourself first. We were having a great conversation before the show started, so tell me about yourself.
So I am a mom of four, and I have been working at Inroads. At the end of this month, it'll be 29 years. I started out in college. I just wanted to kind of get my feet wet in the field and see if it's what I really wanted to do before pursuing a master's, and I loved it. And so I've been there ever since. At Inroads, we do a lot of advocacy work for adults with disabilities. We start at teenage years and go through adulthood into retirement. We have day hab programs and mental health services and a large vocational service program.
So before we get into those programs, we had a great conversation about
my daughter.
Third daughter or fourth? The youngest?
My third child.
Your third child, about how she created a park on a small piece of land in West Orange. Tell us about that. Fascinating story.
So at the time, all third graders, I think they still do, all third graders in West Orange, where I live, they go to, they have a field trip during school to go to town hall, talk with the mayor. And while there, when educating the students about civic duties and what goes on at town hall, the mayor said to the kids, like, if you guys see anything or have any ideas or concerns, reach out. Fast forward a few months, we're home, we're taking a walk, and there's a circle in the middle of our block with grassy area that wasn't super well kept, and she wanted a park there. So she said, the mayor said we can write him. So she wrote him with our colored pencils, and she drew a picture with a map. It looked like it came from Peter Pan. It was adorable, and she sent it to the mayor. And a year later, there was a grand opening of the park that she had.
Is it named after her?
It's not. So following.
What's her name?
Her name is Emily.
So it should be designed by Emily or something.
She looks back now. She's a senior in high school, and she looks back going like, I missed that opportunity. But at the time, she was altruistic, and she after she wrote the mayor and they had this great conversation about what she wanted, he invited her to be mayor for a day. And during that time, she learned that further down our street, the youngest mayor of West Orange was raised. He had a fascinating history serving in, I believe it was World War II. And so she asked to name the park after him. So it's James J. Sheeran Park.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
she really is altruistic.
Yeah. Well, now she's a senior in high school. She's like, I missed that. But yes, she is. She is an altruistic kid.
So you were talking about the programs, and you serve as the Vice President of Programs and Services. So get into what's the best program or the easiest program, or what's the most that the young people really get involved in? Tell us about the program that works the best, and then get into some of the other programs.
So I started out almost 29 years ago in vocational services, and so that's near and dear to my heart. But I don't know, while I love vocational services and giving everyone the opportunity to be a productive member of society and reach their highest level of potential or success as they determine that for themselves, I don't know that there is a one best program. All the programs are kind of individualized to meet the needs of the person served. So when someone reaches out to us, we can work with them to assess what is it that would best fit what they need at this time. And maybe they move on to another program or off to an alternate program depending on how their needs may evolve. But the best program to get into is the one that is going to best serve your needs at that time.
And so how do you measure? Is there a quantification of how they do in these programs in order for them to move on? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I'm sure anyone who watches that's in social services knows there's lots of regulatory bodies and accrediting institutions and needs. So a lot of our referrals for vocational, for example, they come from the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation. And so we're proving to DVR what we've done, what we've worked on, that we've met our contract goals or their individual fee-for-service goals. And so we're looking at, everyone has a treatment plan or a goal plan of short-term and long-term, what they're looking to achieve. And so you meet with your counselor on a regular basis. Those needs are assessed, and determined, and talked over with the client and or their guardian to help them move into the best direction for them.
So was there an inspiration for you to get involved in social work or Inroads? What was it called before Inroads? It was another name for it.
Prior to Inroads, we actually started here in Elizabeth
Right.
in 1959. It was the Occupational Center
That's
of
what it-
Union
right.
County. And we're now located in Roselle, but we serve the whole Union County and beyond areas. For me, getting into it, my mom jokes that as a little kid, when she would read the Ugly Duckling book to me, like bedtime story, that I would cry, that why were they so mean to that duckling? So I think it's just kind of always been in me to like, how can I help somebody? Like, how
I've heard
can
a lot
I-
of stories about motivation, but that's an interesting one.
That's my mom's favorite story. So for me, I think it was really just how can I help other people. So when I was graduating from Rutgers with my bachelor's, before I was going on to my master's, I wanted to make sure that I was really doing it in the field, not just because of a cute bedtime story and my mom's story as a kid, but because it was the right thing for me. So I responded to an ad in the newspaper, actually, way before Indeed. And as soon as I got to the occupational center, we called it OCUC, as soon as I got there and took the tour, I kind of felt like, oh, I get this. This is good stuff. And so my intention was to be there for a year or two and then go off to my master's. And instead, I stayed there. They supported me as I went for my master's. As I went on to get my LPC, I'm a licensed professional counselor, and I've grew in the field.
Okay. So the overall mission, is there an age group for the overall mission? Or is it?
We start working with individuals as young as age 16. We do transition services, pre-ES, so it's pre-employment transition services, and in-house transition program. And we're helping teenagers, to learn the difference between being a student and being a worker, and to bridge that gap. We have services following graduation. Most of our participants stay in school till age 21. So following graduation, we have programs that assist them with really integrating into the community and being, like I had said, productive members of society, learning about work, the world of work, what they're interested in doing, what they need to do to be successful. And then we have vocational service programs. And for some participants who need, we do have psychiatrists and nurses on staff and counselors for mental health services, if that's the appropriate.
So there's always a misconception surrounding employment of individuals with disabilities. How do you discount that or encourage employers that the folks we're sending you are quite able to do the task at hand?
First and foremost, everyone who we work, we have a large team of employment specialists that go out in the community to help our participants get jobs. So they're out there, they're helping them with the job search, the interview prep, filling out the applications, the whole thing. And when we're talking to employers, we're letting them know that there are myths that individuals can only do menial jobs, or they're not reliable, or they're actually some of the most reliable workers, according to multiple studies. They're dedicated, they like routine, they know that they go to work on these days, they're going to be there and they're going to be giving it their all. And then there are services from the state that can support them, that can stop in. It really costs the employer nothing. Some employers have this misconception that to be fully ADA compliant or to fully integrate, that it will cost them. And it really doesn't. So typically our job coaches, we go, the state offers...
Is that something you do, I guess?
We do
question.
job coaching, yep.
Right.
And the state offers what's called long-term follow-along. So if someone is getting employed through our DVR-funded program and work, and the job coach will be there intensely with them in the beginning to really, for that onboarding period, to really help them get understanding of what they're supposed to be doing, get into the routine, learn the job. That can be extended some if it's really needed. And then for ongoing supports, they're kind of weaned down into long-term follow-along. And that's typically 3 to 5 hours a month. It can be adjusted. The agency can work with the central office, DVR central office in Trenton. They're terrific, and the community.
And in most cases, that doesn't cost the employer.
It doesn't.
The state picks up the fee for the job coach?
Yes.
So do you keep track of how many individuals are working and what types of jobs are typically being funded by the employers for those folks that are your clients?
I do.
Okay.
I do, yeah. So right now we have about 90 participants that are seeking employment. We have another about 50 that we're working with either through long-term follow-along or job coaching services. Some individuals, we can assist them with getting a job, and then they're good. They don't need further assistance.
Okay.
Other individuals may need very intense onboarding assistance, and so we're there for them. So all of our programs are really individualized because no two disabilities are the same. So we want to make sure that we meet the need of the person without taking away too much of their independence. If they're capable of doing it on their own, then we want to give them that ability, but also offering them supports if they need more.
How do you encourage employers that it's important to hire people or individuals with disabilities in the workforce? Why is it important? I know it's important to you, it's your job. So, but how do you convince other people that it's important to them?
So aside from, or part of my job, I also, I chair the Disability Committee for the Union County Workforce Development Board, and I sit on the State Rehab Council. And on the Disability Committee last year, we worked on frequently asked questions and just kind of myths and solutions that employers might have regarding hiring someone with disability. So one of the things that we do to help employers understand is to come up with these questions and to provide them with where they can go to get the information, who they can contact, who they can talk with. When I talk with an employer, when my staff talk with an employer, we really point out the benefits of hiring someone, who has a disability. Like I said earlier, they're typically the most reliable, dependable people. They can have a support team behind them. So if there are challenges, there are other employees where the employer might have to deal with it themselves and, have an awkward conversation. We have job coaches who will come in and work with you to smooth that over and to get through, if there's a glitch.
So are you seeing more and more businesses becoming more open to this process?
We are, yeah. I mean, there's an ebb and flow sometimes, but overall, I think people are really becoming more and more welcoming of having a diverse population at their job site and, doing kind of giving back to the community. You're helping someone become, more independent and be able to support themselves.
And the success rate is measured by the people that get a job or the people that stay in the job. Does your success rate stop when they get the job, or say they 5 years, 10 years in the job? How do you? I guess it's two different measurements, right?
There's two different measurements. Right. Yeah. I mean, we definitely celebrate when they get the job. We celebrate it for the staff who helped them with it. We celebrate it for the participant who made the achievement, the employer who hired them, and then going on. I had mentioned long-term follow-along. So initially, you may have intensive job coaching, and then wean that down into someone visiting you as you need it. There can come to a point where you can graduate from long-term follow-along, and so we celebrate that too. That initially you needed all these supports, and now we go there to check on you, and you've got it.
You're good.
You're independent. You're good. So we graduate you from that service, and we're still there. If they call, we'll work with DVR to reopen the case if that comes up. But we're going to celebrate that you made that achievement. So
how do people, before we close, if they want to get involved in Inroads for Opportunities, or they want to be supportive, or they're an employer, how do they get a hold of you? I know you're in Roselle. I've been to your offices, but is there a website, a phone number? Can you tell us all that?
So we do have a website. It is www.inroads2.org, and our phone number is 241-7200.
And they contact you, and then they'd be directed in whatever way, whether it's looking for a job, whether it be supportive in other ways.
Absolutely.
Okay. Cyndy, I want to thank you for being on the show tonight. I really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to join us and explain to our viewers what Inroads for Opportunities do.
My pleasure. Thank
You got a great office over there. I've been there on numerous occasions in Roselle, so
Thank you so
thank
much.
you. I want to thank Miss Cyndy Walsh Rintzler for joining us on the show today. And for those of you that are interested in the Inroads for Opportunities program in Roselle, please visit their website. And if you're an employer, look to hire those that they service. Thank you for being here. This is Mayor Chris Bollwage. We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.